How is the season going for you guys so far?
Oh, it's been an up and down season, to be quite honest. We've had some lows, and we've had some definitely highs, and the highs have come later in the season, which is always a good sign. This team is getting ready to have a big win, which is a question of when it's going to be. And we've got capable guys who have done some historic things in the program back, and we've got a new freshman who's played above expectations this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's just a matter of time before we break through.
Have you seen the looming possible threat of the cut distracting the players at all?
That's a hard thing to measure. I think it's like the test that's coming up in 3 months, and it's for say the bar. It's something that is coming, you're preparing for, but at the same time, it's not maybe something that you think about daily or hourly, but it is something that looms in the back of your mind, and you know that it's there. And I think, you probably have to ask individually each guy, but for sure it's talked about at my dinner table with my wife and with my colleagues and things like that on I would say at least on a weekly basis. Whether it's affected performance or not, I think that's hard to measure.
Have you guys started making any budget changes or kind of agreements with the university to try and fit what they want out of the program to let it work?
Well, I mean, we have a steering committee,
okay.
And I think you'll see in the next week or so that maybe a benchmark will change on how much we need to raise before June 30th. We have in that committee we've gotten pledges of probably a couple $100,000, and it's just one of those situations where we need a big fish to come in and kind of help us out. The university and the athletic department have been very firm on what they've said, and they want 8 years of support in hand, and right now that's $3.6 million by June 30th. So it's a real hard number.
Yeah. I saw that the goal is around $3 million. Is there a number in mind that you guys are trying to get it down to, or just whatever you?
I think there's a business plan being put together. I don't think we get to control what that number is, but at the same time, once the athletic department gets our plan, then hopefully we can have a discussion about what we can maybe bring that number down so that it might be something that we might be able to accomplish. It's still either way. When you look at the general scope, if Maryland Athletics raised $7.6 million or whatever they raised last year for an individual program, to raise 3.6 in literally 6 months is a difficult task for sure.
Well, I know the track team has made some budget changes, like they're going to cut down 14 athletes, and they're going to eliminate 2 of the 3 sports on. I mean, have you guys thought about doing anything like that, or any limits put on yourself to ease the budget?
Sure, we've looked at the numbers, but the problem that we run into is a Title IX situation where the women must have 8 scholarships, the men must have, can only have 4.5. So there's not very much more that we can cut. We're the least funded program here at Maryland. So the university and athletic department stance is that any of those situations where we decrease the funding for the program would make us less competitive, and that's not something I think they're willing to do at this point.
And have you guys been doing any fundraising?
Sure. I mean, most of our fundraising has been coming from the individual donors. That's where we're reaching out. It's a little fruitless to have a bake sale and a this and a that. I think things like that are great for maybe sharing the situation that we're in, but with the news media and the news coverage, we've had Washington Post, Washington Times, Baltimore Sun, all those types of things. We've had those outlets. I think pretty much everybody's very aware with our situation.